I was terrified.
For the guilty,
stay in your cells and heads out of the wall.
It was horrible.
the Sebastian County, Arkansas lockup is horrifying.
I thought that I died and gone to hell.
But for the innocent,
I was already mad.
like Gail Griffin and her husband, Wendell Harvey,
I was very angry.
it is a horrific, living nightmare.
It's enough to make you crazy.
It is May 8th, 2016.
We picked up at Two-Wheel Army Depot.
This Draper, Utah couple transports explosives for the military. And on this day, they're headed to Arkansas. At the gates of Fort Chaffee, their truck undergoes a routine search.
We found suspiciously packaged substance.
3 baggies of a white powdery substance, to be exact.
You can use it to clean your carpet. I use it to rinse my mouth. It's a good facial scrub and body scrub.
The couple, who has high security, federal clearance, and no criminal record, insists it's just baking soda.
We tested it 3 different times, and we got a positive conclusion each time we tested.
Positive. Each time for cocaine. Police tell the couple they are in deep trouble.
He said, you have over $300,000 in cocaine. I said, I never had 2 nickels to rub together. Are you crazy? And he said, well, I've never had 2 nickels to rub together either, but now I'm the owner of your truck.
Their truck is confiscated, the couple arrested, their bail set at $10,000, and they don't have enough money to get out.
I felt cut off from reality, I put it like that. I'm in some place that it doesn't feel like America anymore. I can't call anybody.
It was just crawling with bugs. It was unbelievably cold. It was blasting cold air. For the first 2 or 3 weeks, I just shivered. I didn't have any socks. There were lots of threats and intimidation.
After 2.5 months in jail, the state of Arkansas finally conducts a more thorough, 100% accurate laboratory test on the couple's evidence. The result, it's not cocaine.
I don't know what's wrong with those guys, I really don't. Something's wrong there, and I'm not sure what it is.
How could this happen?
We're not chemists, and we don't roll with a chemistry set in the back of a police car.
This miscarriage of justice.
I break the left ampule.
Well, because Gail and Wendell's case was constructed almost entirely on this building block, a $2 test called the Scott Reagent Field Test, a test whose science hasn't changed since the early 70s, and Arkansas police engaged it to put the couple behind bars.
They're not infallible. They are subject to misreadings.
Greg Parrish with the Arkansas Public Defender's Office says the tests are fundamentally flawed, and Gail and Wendell's case is not an anomaly.
There are many other cases out there this very same way.
And the data backs that up. In Las Vegas, authorities re-examined a sampling of field tests conducted from 2010 to 2013 and found that 33% of them had resulted in false positives. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement says 21% of evidence that they believed to be meth was, after further testing, not meth at all. More than 100,000 people a year are convicted or plead guilty to charges based on these tests, but yet they continue to be used by police in every state across the country, including right here in Utah.
We use these field test kits to give us a preliminary result.
Among them, the Utah County Sheriff's Office. We asked them to show us how the test works using drugs in their evidence locker.
That's a positive test right there.
And with this knowledge, we decided to test several household items on our own.
Yeah, start rolling.
We purchased the Nick Field Test, the one used by most every police agency in Utah, and we went to work. Let's start with a household cleaner, Comet. Can you see that? If it's blue on the bottom and pink on top, that's a test for cocaine. And if you're a cop, I think that you would clearly say that that's positive. So now we are going to try acetaminophen. This one has blue and what appears to be a little bit of pink. I might say that's cocaine as well. Now we're going to try an antihistamine. So that is blue and pink with speckles. I almost wonder if you could say that's positive as well. That blows me away a little bit. In all, we tested 10 household items. 4 or 40% of their test could be interpreted as positive for drugs. I'll be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to get any positive.
We both didn't think we were going to get out at all.
Gail and Wendell are free, finally back home, but their lives have been crushed. They only recently got their truck back from Arkansas authorities, and it has severe damage. And they're struggling to get their security clearance and their jobs back.
It's put us in limbo, we're just living on our savings.
In addition, they fear that this simple test that put them in jail with a snap is doing the same thing to other innocent people across the state and the country.
If they did what they did to us, just to law-abiding, working people, then there's no telling, how many mistakes they've made.
Now, the National Bureau of Standards says that these tests should be used only to get probable cause. That means you can't use these results to take a case to trial. You need to have a laboratory test to back them up. But the problem is the vast majority of all cases, some 95%, end up playing out. That means that we never end up finding what a lab result is after this test is taken. So we may never know what the actual results are of a laboratory test and how accurate these tests are in Utah. Also, the crime lab here in Utah, as far as we know, does not keep records of false positives and false negatives when they follow up on tests that are done as a result of these. Guys, back to you.
Chris, is it on their record at all? If they test and it's a false positive, I mean, that could ruin somebody.
Well, and I think this is a perfect example of that. This is a couple who are still trying to get their lives back in order, and this test right here is part of the reason that they're struggling today, guys.
All right. Eye-opening story, Chris. Thank you so much.